everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. This week I am back in the UK. I've finished Croatia and I've had several weeks of recovery. So Croatia was now 3 weeks ago, and as soon as I got back I just had a week of collapse and just rest, recovery. But I had to get back into training immediately, pretty much, because I have the Threshold Sports Race to the Tower, which is a 50-mile trail race, coming up in just 2 weeks. So there was a 5-week gap between finishing Tri Run for Love 4 and doing my next race. So not much time for downtime, but it's actually worked out really well and I'm feeling quite strong. Although, of course, I will never get past that point of thinking that obviously I feel like I could have done a little bit more training. Tell me, do you ever get past that point? Have you guys ever gone to a race and felt like you've done all the training, you've done enough, you feel like you couldn't have done anything more? Because I don't think I've ever got to that point before. Even if I stuck to a training plan religiously and like done everything that I was supposed to do, I always feel like I could have done just a little bit more. And it's slightly depressing, but I think it also means that I push myself a little bit further. So that's no bad thing. Today I am going off on a nice little run. I have been really struggling to fit in my mileage this week, so I've been doing like 5Ks here and there to try and fit in runs as and when I can. Today I'm going to do about 15 kilometers. It's going to be very traily, it's going to be very hilly. Even though it's only 15 kilometers, whereas my usual long run would be above 20, it will be quite intense. So I'm really looking forward to that, and I'm meeting up with a friend called Sam. He does all my sports massages here in Bristol, and he is also a really good runner himself. He's only recently started doing races, but he's winning them already. So it's nice to run with someone so much better than me because it gives me something to aspire to and to push myself for. This week's vlog is sponsored by Hue Chocolate. I mean, how cool is it that I have a vlog sponsored by chocolate? I think it also shows how much the world is changing in terms of like clean eating. There's not this thing whereby you feel like you can't have sweet treats, chocolates, all that kind of stuff. I am obsessed with eating chocolate. I have it in races, I have it especially after my long runs, and I eat it, I mean I snack every single day, and I have this chocolate every single day, and I'm so impressed. Their ethics and ethos is basically bang in line with what I think, so let me tell you a little bit more about them. Okay, so I'm gonna bang on about this a little bit because honestly I think it might be the best chocolate I've ever had. This is them. This is their hazelnut filled one, which is my personal favourite. The great thing about them is they're all vegan, they're all gluten-free. I'm personally not gluten-free, but I know that some flavoured chocolates do have gluten in them. It doesn't use any artificial sweeteners. In fact, it uses coconut sugar, so it doesn't even use refined sugar. They've got this thing on the back that says no artificial sweeteners, no maltitol, no erythritol, no emulsifiers, no added dairy, no gluten, no palm oil, no lecithins. Don't laugh if I'm pronouncing these wrong. The great thing about it is that all the ingredients on the back you can pronounce, you know it's real food. I love my food, but I especially love it to kind of be healthy and like whole foods and stuff, and I really think that these guys are all about that. And from a sustainability angle, the packaging, you can see it's paper, so that's just recyclable, and then the inside one is industrially compostable. That doesn't mean you can throw it in your compost bin at home, which is a bit of a shame, but hopefully they can change that in the future. But it does mean that if you've got a food waste bin, you can stick it in there and it gets taken away by the council, which is much better than obviously the plastic packaging that the vast majority of chocolates have. So I'm a huge fan of these guys. Huge fan, huge, okay, sorry, bad pun. Huge fan, and I would thoroughly recommend checking them out. I have a 20% discount if you guys want to go and buy some for yourself. I could not recommend it more, genuinely. Personally, the hazelnut butter filled one is my favourite, but they have loads of different flavours, including just like plain dark chocolate, which is the best thing, and not overly bitter as well. So my code is Flora20. I'm going to put a link down below and remind you of that code as well, so you guys can check it out for yourself and see how good it really is. But without further ado, I'm going to head off on my run. I'm a little bit nervous, but very excited to get out on some trails. Okay, so we've set off. I'm here with Sam. Say hi. Hey, morning. And we are in Ashton Court. We're actually starting with the park run route. Generally, if you have done the Ashton Court park run, it's basically just straight up. And this is Sam's idea of a gradual way into the run, rather than just going like straight up the hill. We're kind of going around the outside, but it is pretty much straight up as soon as we get round that corner. This is my last full week of training before race to the tower, 50 miles, 84 kilometers, which I'm extremely nervous about. I don't feel like I've done a single good week of training, like in months and months and months, especially since coming back from Croatia, which I'll talk about a little bit in a little bit. But yeah, hey ho, I've been on my feet a lot. I guess Croatia was probably training in itself. But it's a beautiful day, happy to be outside, just gonna be enjoying this run. Okay, so we just done the whole of, well, not the whole of Agincourt, half of Agincourt, and I just wanted Sam to introduce himself because he does some pretty cool running stuff. Yeah, introduce yourself. What do you do? Who are you?
So I'm a massage therapist in Bristol. I used to play squash professionally, so gone from that into running as far as I can over some mountains.
Nice.
What else?
What have you done recently race-wise?
So last one was Jurassic Coast 100k.
Love that.
Which was a slog.
Yeah. Did you win it?
I did win that one. And
then
before that was Beast of the Brecons.
Another great one.
Which I won as well.
Very good.
So all going good.
Yeah, and do you find that this whole like winning malarkey is like relatively new, or do you think you've always been like pretty talented at it, or is it just something that's come recently?
Well, I've only actually started racing this year, so all that I've just been running for fun. But I think I have a bit of a competitive side, so yeah, I'll grit my teeth and push through if it means getting the win, but
nice.
Yeah, mostly just running for fun still.
That's what we like to hear. And do you have any races like coming up, or are you taking a bit of a break after 100?
So I'm going to go out to Snowdonia, and it's not a race, but I'm taking on the Welsh 3000s, which would be a fun little...
Can you explain what that is to the followers who don't know?
Welsh 3000s is a route which is every peak in Wales over 3,000 feet. So all in Snowdonia, you can choose any route you want. So, you know, if you want to take some mad shortcuts down some steep faces, go for it. But,
that sounds like it's going to be fun.
Oh yeah, loads of fun.
Well, good luck. Apparently we've got a fun new downhill, so let's go. Woo woo! That was great. Loved it. Oh, so good. So good. Yeah, gotta be fast feet. So as you guys may know, a long downhill section is my absolute fave, but you have to practice them. The reason so many people struggle with them is because the natural instinct is to try and slow down, and the problem with slowing down is that it places more pressure on your legs, and kind of the easiest way to get down is just sort of allow gravity to take you. Obviously, the problem with that is that you end up going a lot faster. Woo! And then you've got to have stronger legs, so that's what going to the gym is for. But when you get it right, it's just the best thing. It's just amazing. done. Well done. We accidentally joined a triathlon. Well done. It's great. Everyone is looking completely miserable and worn out. You can see cyclists across the other side on the is that the Port Way? Yeah, and then there they are. And then all the runners coming along here. I think the people going that way must be at the very front because they are so fast and I cannot run that fast. And they're doing it plus cycling plus swimming. Well done! Doing fab! Well done! I'm just saying well done to everyone because I love a race atmosphere. I love it, it's so cute. It's especially nice when I'm not in it because I don't have to stress. Yeah, good vibes only over here. So we just started going up something called Nightingale Valley. Sam is disparu. I'm hiking. We have been going slightly above my usual long run pace, but granted we're only about 9k in and we're near where we started, so it is a bit of a short and sharp situation today. And so this bit isn't very sharp because it's very steep. Sam does reps of this 1 kilometre uphill stretch for fun. I don't know if he finds it literally fun, but that's what he says. I, on the other hand, take it nice and easy. I can run at the whole thing. I just choose not to. Hello. Hi, you are very cute. Yes, you are. Sorry, baby. Always a little puppy. Do you want to go past? So apparently reps of this is what it takes to win all your races. And if that's what it takes, I might give it a miss. It is beautiful though. Happy to take it nice and slowly. Since Croatia, I have been taking it easy and I've done, so it is 3 weeks since I finished and I have 2 weeks until my race. So I've been back to normal training for 2 of those 3 weeks and that's involved my usual, so 1 interval training session a week, 1 long run a week, sometimes split into 2. So I'll do a longish run on Saturday and then a much shorter second half of that long run on the Sunday, just to practice running on tired legs. One thing I have noticed recently is that my hay fever is much worse. So right now I can feel it, it's like very wheezy. So I've been taking antihistamines because the race that I'm doing, Race of the Tower, is all through like farmland and green spaces. It'll be beautiful, but it's basically hay fever in a race. So it's going to be interesting to say the least. Yeah, so I'm back up to mid 50s in terms of kilometers per week. And this week I'm struggling a little bit to get it, but I've done 5 runs this week and a lot of walking. So even on the days that I've not been running, I've been getting like 20,000, 30,000 steps, which is still good training. I try not to beat myself up about not being able to stick to my training plan religiously because, sorry, I'm a bit wheezy, because it all counts. And obviously Croatia was great training as well for running on tired legs. Next week is first taper week and week after second taper week. So in the 5 weeks that I had between Croatia and Race of the Tower, I've had 2 proper training weeks. So I had recovery week where I did just a couple of really short runs and I really was quite exhausted during that week. Then I had a full training week, got I think 56 kilometers. I had a second full training week. This week I think it's 50 kilometers, but plus a hell of a lot of hiking. And then I've got 2 taper weeks, which will be high intensity, but slightly lower volume. Probably 40 kilometers next week and then dropping down to like 30 the week afterwards. And then 50 miles. Ish. Stressful. Stressful. Just my longest single day ever. But I think I'll get around, provided I don't have a horrible food incident again. I think I will get around. It's just how comfortable it is and that's what the training's for. Okay, down the fun bit apparently, as though the rest of it wasn't fun. Yeah! Oh jeez, oh Jesus. Okay, off it goes. Oh. This is what I love. Having a good time. I've never been here before. Showing me new trails on my back doorstep. Woo! Ah! Up we go. Oh my god. That was great! So good! Oh my god! Loved it! Loved it! Oh, and we joined the race again. Back with the triathlon. Woo! Look, a proper band! Oh my goodness, children! Made it back home. That was such a lovely run. That's my favorite kind of trail run really, so lots of technical descents, little bits of flat to get some miles in, a couple of hills. You can't really avoid the hills when you enjoy doing the descents, unfortunately. I just need to get better at them really, but I'm so glad I went out. That brings this week's running total to just under 50 kilometers, which is, I don't know, it's about 5k less, 5 or 6k less than I would like to do, but the intensity was high this week, and as I said before, I did loads of hiking, loads of walking, so I'm going to give myself a bit of a break and say that was okay. I am going to talk more about recovery after my next ultra, because obviously after Tribe, I didn't really have the luxury of taking off as much time and doing all the recovery things that I would have liked, because I had to be back running within 4 or 5 days, albeit very, very, very slowly. So I did kind of go back sooner than what I would have recommended someone else do, because there should be no rush really after doing an ultra like that, because your body, I think they say for every 10 kilometers, no, yeah, for every 10 kilometers you should take off an extra day of of absolutely no running. I'm not really sure how that works for multi-days, but say you did like a 50k, then that's 5 days off afterwards. Obviously what I did was just over 170k, but it was over 4 days, so probably not 17 days off, but probably more than about 4, which is what I did. I basically got straight back to running afterwards. This weird thing happened to my body. Like, I finished running on the Thursday and I was back running by the Sunday. I think I did an 8k on the Sunday very slowly with the dog, and I felt amazing. I mean, I wasn't going quickly, of course, but I felt really, really good, and I wonder if that's because my body was expecting to have to go so much further. I've got a Whoop band here, and looking at that, it said that my heart rate variability was up, which is good. My resting heart rate was way down, which is good because that shows that you've recovered sufficiently. And like all of my stats were amazing. So it basically did this thing where they were all awful as soon as I finished Tribe, and then they all got really good, and I felt really, really good for a couple of days, and then I completely crashed about halfway into my recovery week. Basically, as soon as I stopped doing stuff, my body was like, okay, we can fall apart now. And it did, it really did. Like, I would do a casual 6k run and my heart rate would be really high, and it kind of felt like after I had COVID a little bit, not quite as bad as that, but it was difficult to not stress so much about it, because obviously with this big race coming up, I didn't want to have to take out more time, but I just had to go back really slowly and not like overdo it. So my first interval session back was a kind of ease into it without trying to hit certain paces, but doing everything by feel and effort level instead. And that my old coach Holly Rush recommended that for me, and that worked really well. And then this week's worth of training was super tough on top of last week's one, but I'm glad that I got it done, and what a run to finish on. It was so nice, and nice to be shown some more trails that I've never done on my own doorstep. So that was lovely. That is it for this week's vlog. Don't forget to check out Hue Chocolate. I'm obsessed with them. I've already had a square since coming back. I cannot recommend them highly enough. They do everything that is in line with my ethos, and most importantly, probably, the chocolate is just really good. Everyone I give it to is like, oh my god, that is the best chocolate I've ever tried, genuinely. So go and check them out. I will put a link down below. Make sure to have a look. I hope you love it as much as I do. I know you will. And I hope you enjoy this vlog. If you did enjoy the vlog, please do give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button, and come and check me out over on Instagram as well. That is @FoodFitnessFlora, and we'll see you over there. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.